In a previous video, I explored 5 of the most unique football stadiums around the world, and I've recently felt like there are so many stadiums I could have added to that video, but didn't. So as a result, I wanted to make another video on the subject. For me, I feel like what makes a stadium unique can vary quite heavily, as the shape and size of the ground can make it unique, the surrounding area, the topography, and the potential view of outside the stadium can all help to create what I would call a unique football ground. With that being said, with how varied world football is, there is a huge number of stadiums that fit this criteria. So if you think I missed any, feel free to let me know in the comments below. But with that being said, the first stadium I want to look at is the Estadio Silvestre Carrillo. The Estadio Silvestre de Carrillo is located in Santa Cruz de la Palma in the Canary Islands, Spain. It first opened in 1977 and is the home to Club Deportivo Mesangero. Carrillo can hold about 4,000 spectators and is placed quite uniquely as the south side of the ground is next to a ravine and the north side of the ground is right next to a road. As a result of this configuration, the vast majority of their seating is located on the east and west ends of the ground, with the north side having very few rows of seating. The cramped footprint allows for amazing pitch-side views of the game, but also allows spectators to take in the mountainous terrain of the Canary Islands. There's something special about a stadium that, while small, is still nestled in the topography of an island, and is certainly one of the more unique grounds in both shape and location I have ever seen. As a result of its size too, it looks like a great place to watch a match and would certainly be one that I'd love to visit in my lifetime. The next ground I want to look at is the Max Eicher Stadium, which is the home of SV Austria Salzburg of the Austrian 2nd Division. Being built in 1999, the Max Eicher Stadium was originally the home to ASK Salzburg before the club went bankrupt and SV took over the ground. The stadium holds a quite modest 1,566 spectators, which makes sense as the club has been as low as the 6th tier in Austria and is newly promoted into the 2nd Division. For me, what makes this stadium unique is less to do with the ground itself, as the stadium has essentially 3 stands, 2 on each end, and 1 running the length of the pitch that houses the announcers. What really makes this ground unique is the view of a mountain range from every angle of the stadium, as well as the view of Salzburg from the stadium. For me, a ground like this is often more interesting than a big stadium, as it feels more tied to the community and the team it houses. Sometimes simplicity wins out, and when a team starts to need a larger ground, it can really lose some of its character. And this is certainly not one of those cases. The next ground is over in Scotland, as is Gayfield Park, the home of Arbroath FC of the Scottish Championship. The ground has a capacity of 6,600, in which 861 is seated. Being built in 1880 and then later renovated in 1925, it is by far the oldest stadium listed in this video, and will certainly have a video of its own on my channel in due time. The reason this ground is featuring in this video is due to the location, as the stadium is west of the Arbroath Harbour and on the southern end of Angus. As a result, the once again modest ground is very eye-catching, with beautiful aerial photographs of the sea to one side and Angus to the other. From the stands, the view of both Angus and the sea would be quite limited. However, this type of stadium has everything I look for in a unique stadium. Another thing to note too about Gayfield Park, unlike other stadiums that have featured in this video that are in very limited spaces, the ground actually appears to have a little bit of room to expand if the club ever needs to do that as well. However, for now, its modest footprint really adds to the overall feel of the ground. The last stadium I want to look at in this video is LFF Stadium in Lithuania, home of FK Žalgiris and FK Riteriai, and hosted the Lithuanian national football team from 2005 to 2002. The stadium originally opened in 1957, but was renovated many times from 2004 all the way up to 2021. LFF Stadium currently has a capacity of 5,067 and features in this video for a couple of reasons. The first being the horseshoe shape of the ground, as it only has seating on 3 of the 4 sides, with the non-seating side also featuring a smaller practice pitch. This shape itself is not 100% unique, as other teams have similar designs. However, it still looks a little bit different than the normal 4 or 2 side seating grounds. The next unique aspect is that most of the stadium is surrounded by trees. This gives the stadium almost a magical look from the stands, as it feels like it's in the middle of a forest. For me, this stadium is a great mix of a small and modest stadium with a nice backdrop, but also it has, or appears to have, great facilities, as this was a national team ground as well, which is quite unique for the size of the stadium, as usually the national team ground is a quite big stadium, but given that Lithuania football might not be as big as it is in other places, you end up with a more modest ground with very beautiful facilities and a very beautiful backdrop. Thank you very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed the video. If you did, please consider liking and subscribing to see more videos in the future. I'm hoping to get another couple of videos done in the very near future, probably March-ish, and looking to start making some slightly longer videos. So if there's any longer topics you'd like to see, feel free to comment them down below. But other than that, have a great day.